Have you ever tried to build a habit only to give up a few days or even hours later? You're not alone. Most of us make the same mistakes when it comes to habits, and the good news: they're completely avoidable. In this video, we're uncovering the top 5 habit mistakes that hold you back and, most importantly, how to fix them. By the end, you'll have all the tools you need to build habits that actually stick. Hi, I'm Mike, and welcome back to Lifelong Learners, your go-to channel for personal growth, productivity, and mastering your routines. Today's video is all about habits. The ones we want to build but can't seem to stick with. If you've ever wondered why it's so hard to make a new habit last, stick around because we're diving into the top 5 mistakes you might be making and how to overcome them. Let's jump right in. Mistake number 1. Starting too big. When motivation is high, it's tempting to go all in. You decide to work out every day, meditate for an hour, or read a book a week. But here's the problem: starting big leads to burnout. Your brain resists massive changes because they feel overwhelming. So what's the solution? Start small. Use the 2-minute rule. If you want to build a habit, shrink it down to something you can do in just 2 minutes. Instead of saying, "I'll work out for an hour," say, "I'll put on my workout shoes and do 5 push-ups." Once you've started, momentum builds naturally. And remember, small steps may feel insignificant at first, but they create the foundation for long-term success. Speaking of foundations, let's talk about another mistake that trips people up. Mistake number 2. Relying on motivation alone. Motivation feels great in the moment, but it's unreliable. One day, you're pumped to wake up early and hit the gym. The next, you can't even get out of bed. That's because motivation fluctuates. It's not a solid foundation for building habits. So what's the solution? Instead of relying on motivation, focus on creating systems and routines. Make it easy to do the right thing by removing obstacles. For example, if you want to work out, lay out your gym clothes the night before. If you want to eat healthier, prep your meals ahead of time. By designing your environment, you reduce the need for motivation altogether. Quick question: have you ever felt like you're putting in the effort but not seeing results? That brings us to mistake number 3, and trust me, it's a game changer. Focusing on outcomes instead of systems. Many people set goals like lose 10 pounds or save $5,000, but they don't think about the daily actions needed to get there. Goals are great for setting direction, but systems are what create progress. It's important to shift your focus from the outcome to the process. Instead of saying, "I want to lose weight," focus on the system: "I will exercise for 20 minutes every day and eat more vegetables with each meal." When you build a system, the outcomes take care of themselves over time. By now, you're starting to see that habits are more about consistency than perfection. But what if consistency is exactly what you're struggling with? That's where mistake number 4 comes in. Trying to be perfect. Perfectionism is the enemy of progress. You miss one day, and suddenly, you feel like you've failed. So, you give up entirely. Sound familiar? Here's the thing: nobody is perfect, and you don't need to be. Make sure you focus on building momentum instead of being perfect. If you miss a day, don't sweat it. Just get back on track the next day. Remember the 2-day rule: never miss 2 days in a row. This keeps you from slipping into an all-or-nothing mindset. Alright, we're almost to the last mistake, and this one might surprise you. It's something we've all done without realizing how much it's holding us back. Mistake number 5. Not tracking your progress. If you're not tracking your habits, it's hard to know whether you're improving. Without evidence of progress, it's easy to lose motivation and give up altogether. So what's the solution? Start tracking your habits, even in the simplest way. Use a habit tracker, a notebook, or an app to record each time you complete your habit. Seeing your progress visually, like a streak or a checklist, keeps you motivated and reinforces the habit. And there you have it, the top 5 mistakes people make when building habits and how to fix them. But before we wrap up, let's quickly recap. The top 5 mistakes when building habits are: Number 1. Starting too big. Make sure you start small and build momentum. Number 2. Relying on motivation. Focus on systems and routines instead. Number 3. Focusing on outcomes. Prioritize your process over the result. Number 4. Trying to be perfect. Aim for consistency, not perfection. Number 5. Not tracking your progress. Use a habit tracker to stay on course. Now that you know how to avoid these pitfalls, it's time to take action. Which of these mistakes have you made before? Let me know in the comments and share how you plan to fix it. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more practical tips to master your habits and routines. And don't stop here, check out my video on how to use habit stacking to transform your life for more actionable strategies. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.